Chi disse preferisco avere fortuna che talento, percepire il senso della vita. La gente ha paura di ammettere quanto conti la fortuna nella vita. Terrorizza pensare che sia così fuori controllo. A volte in una partita la palla colpisce il nastro e per noi può andare oltre o tornare indietro. Con un po' di fortuna va oltre, allora si vince. Oppure no, allora si perde.
Mr. Lynch, knives, will be knife forever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo Simple. Mr. Massimo Simple. More simply, 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 more simply. Questa è un'incisita. Last 8 time. They said last 8 days to shoot you before that means it's episode 9 and 79 years because in fact in 8 days it will be easy to queste prima città di Mr. Lynch so be it at birthday and so before will become 5 as a summer 5 plus 5 and so then practically 0 on the date to be the birthday this is the video not the video Lynch it's January 12 so read 12 days is January 6 6 2026 it's a Monday evening today it seems always clear the year at mettersi middle as you know for me middle it's the adjective pratica it's equivalent variable so for me in fact it's an adjective it means it's an adjective it means clear day alternative quindi clouds clear day scatters in general alternative clouds or vice versa in fact it's a case of today and it also it's meant to seems resta very serious if you with a wind golden divina It's early afternoon. They are 13 and 40 minutes. 48 into Fahrenheit 9 Celsius in the immense really cold like in the effect cold classic agitated for the winter period and support of Presico si consiglio effect Jonathan in foglie sono sicuramente in effect really perché in foglie the words regard last passama se apsono non remember if they follow me non gas passama think body so che tu also come foglie so the words regard the euro now also for the winter come and progress as 22 years ago to December 21 and 16 trip to progress as in Italy and on 16 and 3 or 4 p.m. in 3 in Italy progress as whereas perhaps non remember if incorporate some body Chinese supposed to I'm sure at all see the remnants things for him so see it seems sense my proposal fact of vision to Chinese better non perhaps paradox for me la linea di studio di collaboration for the spring and summer youth is fact for the spring association is soft for the summer agitato for the youth one segment edge soft sono stati già for this is biasa la si gadget la si gadget negli attrezzi mi questo film da absolutely complete better no in this video no because it's winter it's cold but so in general so it's cold but when you see the sentence absolutely incomplete I'm referring to me particular perhaps really for this video for the fact that I don't feel cold but I feel cold less than the other people thanks to say so practice I doing follow since years to practice and we follow since years to which I will start fare cold and when I come to winter period winter first year I always at the comment which I can speak about the super action also si case few weeks ago I had this comment in particular in this case in the first part of the first comment in asterisk I fac explain what the super action so someone is interested see read this comment repeat the first part of the comment in asterisk in the comment section to know what the super action very non forse più fra niente think not if you cold fact for niente think yes or non is meant to them but I think 95% if you cold however in general in some way for me also good stia about scatto situazione in genere I don't know perché se si meeting is food is it's good at tutto completo fac ne bi siamo finito con questo Ungheria finché a temperature di servizi giusti fuori 48 to Fahrenheit 9 Celsius but l'importing is the sphere that you vedi so for today oh it's beautiful da venire sono divisi più sti behind the glasses now it's setting sul letto non ti chiamate san in genere se c'è in particolare setting is the first one is the fact is the fact now I sing for example an extract better da film from a classico Napoleon song sulle mie blues sing it's became a habit of mine doing the last past summer so perhaps remember insomma remember if you follow me doing the last past summer I think boring so ma tu solo più bello miei ho solo mia sta in fronte a te ho solo mia sta in fronte a te sta in fronte a me sta in fronte a te io se non capisco se vuoi strumento di corso nero niente si sta in continuo effect giure se scelti chiamato via spesa c'è nel senso se tarving effect it's impossible perhaps un beautiful like this it's impossible to anche se si scende che siete Yes, went until now, until the period, change bars. 40 secondi, no, last Saturday of October, an hour before, the fact era di Bianca, non fra them Sun Sky. For other practically 2 hours and 20 minutes, maximum, more or less, in comparison with the American Federation, a completely fresh good. Well, so si sono quindi new cortine in flowers and contrast flowers mixed with new plants using cortine sono non senza sta un buono un garting sul borfile in particolare un breve cortine beautiful grey cortine with beautiful painted benches fatta repeat the passage from a breve cortine and also all things that you meant to see one in my comments in section it should be the first pointed at the first comment in one of them see or read the comment section in this I don't know if you can really see or notice it well from the shot maybe think yes see the green flowers along the flowers mixed with some plants or if not, even better, surely better, because I shot private first part of video which Perugia, I shot you the weather scatters here in general from this classical winner, classical room, this mythical window, this mythical room, because there's also the other mythical room with the other mythical window. Or also broader perspective from this other practical shot similar to classical shot film more than 30 years ago for the fact previous curtain, more than 30 years ago fact for the previous curtain, get a beautiful grey curtain with beautiful painted with branches, perhaps also per first curtain also the parts of the curtain from trigonometric cut easier. Sure, the gare curtain is still in covering major vision, as long as you time one day should change it, as a shot also reads the effect above on the reason, the glory shoot also on the reason, but no one the reason, so the effects measure, as you read that this picture set, so is used for the previous curtain, bit beautiful curtain, beautiful painted with branches, perhaps also is for 20 minutes, is the color curtain and mental mem exactly easy, and also is now led the seat for the new curtain, sorry but repeat express. So I repeat the expression also for fatum, so as in this little speech or sentence it is, but also and always better visible for me in its entirety in this shot anticipated antisemitico or legend. Regarding the shooter not visible, but not mistake, not visible the first days of last October, but this is important at all because important that also days not visible. Now I read the similar special sentence for the ultimate also for it because it's valid also for it, so I repeat once again, but also always better visible for me its entirety in this shot after this one antisemitico or legend shot. And finally, from a mythical Q Magic 740 PG 625 also che si mi viene shot. Ma victim the people of social networks is said to be doing something which is myself was and finally I hope you get a breakfast. Today it's late in general, also massive as I'm living since last December 31. The occasion for the first time in this year, late in general, but this year not late at all for my house. Si accandono ormai di breakfast, slow breakfast for me, it's hours in this video, but si mi so solito but all the importance of testify for driver reaction seminar 2023 was started in fact in breakfast 15 years late. We started to eat better, to drinking the milk at 15 and 10, and in parte in mette strus yesterday, so che tre volte sei sembra tre su straccio. Ora ti ripeto, non trovo se carriera, little summer some time not, but see more not than yes. Era just roll mi sono in 40. News. But, the important thing shows CM yet it's a way also lei ultimate so dance and we let's see. Ecco fa sono most ultimo da for absolutely. Sono senza nostro niente metto su morda maniera. Avevo solo sto conto di like fact of the extra from release on Friday. And yesterday it was the fifth that creation brand was ago and fifth reason red black beautiful red black and also white that's different model compared with the so all the things that perhaps no follow Friday all the Friday weather reports Odyssey and Odyssey or weather Odyssey of the Odyssey weather report and it should be this video but I really see it one day or whatever so anytime check better se tu vuoi vedere questi video just start to see these things on this speech and from Dann habe ich halt so ein bisschen mit Job, dus ik heb wat te construeren, wat zijn misschien, van die zijn bezig, ze hebben meer het vak, maar aan mij moet je komen, dus bezig zijn zien, dat vind ik het wel een beetje, want ze mensen maar steeds, als je ook als je boeken, of de boeken is chocolate chips, en fatto mistake, questo fatto bezig, mi sa ma in particolare, tu devi fare usare, non si fa wat milk fakt, so shot, non è che ti coffee, tu sei un chocolate fakt, sono già fresh, tra commenti, se shot non infra, think, se non si su sì che sa lo punto, should be stand here, mi su quanta non deve essere un'idea ci più beta, or non è scritto così ti finisce, altri si vanno sempre su brutto, tu vanno sempre in 40 79 80 81 di se su sì che sa lo punto, should be stand here, sono un'idea ci più beta, vabbè, in senso sentimento del teoria parte in certa di tu insegni milk, so very good news. Quindi se also der Effekt se becca, was questa forma se in particolare me non è così si sa spirito gioco ma sul che quanto sono so questo non finito questo tanto è tipo e in finzano non so se toll in quel becca was so me se un tipo va si sa fa in finale si sta nella cona da anzianzi mi sa sempre quello che dice ma tu so che sei che mi va già non sai quello che dice di cose attraverso questa posizione nella PAM d'Italia, PAM d'Arca Ciocca Cipisi, fa queste due come su, ma la ragazza fa many days, after this hot mess me, I ate them today, I also ate them today, and say, because they are really super bad. Adesso tomorrow si può fare fa non ti tomorrow but to lap ma walsi the bit when it's not visible now I see things for later but repeat things for last time for later and come out some in general session particular attenzione a Shani where فكت شوية سشان كما تبي سو بس عشان كان سنس فكت impossible بيجوا ليرا كنيسة وتوكي سيت وانسي